Hey y'all. Welcome to the live. Hi Alicia, thanks for joining. I'm just doing a quick get ready with me again. Oops, I did not mean to put that on my lips. I was not paying attention. It's actually not bad though. Kind of gives a little bit of a concealer effect. This is the Sisley corrector. I meant to put this on as a color corrector, but I just put something on my lips, so I thought I still had it on in my hand. How are you? I'm just doing a little quick get ready with me before going to church. I know you also frequent church. Did you go today? Last time I know you said you were going to like 3 services in one day and still managed to watch my live. So I appreciate you being here. I picked up the new SONIA G brushes, all 3 of them. So I wanted to showcase them today. If hopefully people are interested in that. And then other than that, I just have like 30 minutes to do a quick get ready with me. Yes, Juan, I would love to do your makeup. Just say when. Oh, you just went to church? Good for you. That's awesome. Where are you from? What area are you in, Alicia? Is that how you say? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. All right, so just doing a quick brow moment here. Let's see, what should we use for the brows? I'm gonna use maybe a Tom Ford one today. I'm gonna use this Tom Ford clear one. It's their brow laminator. I hope the fan isn't too loud in the background. I'm really hot, so if it's too loud, I can lower it. But let's just start out by doing the eyebrows real quick. I have this Melt eyebrow pen out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use it. I love this Wing Goss spoolie here. I always think that everybody needs a good spoolie in their collection, and you might say like all spoolies are the same pretty much, but I beg to differ. I am just a really, really big fan of this Wayne Goss one. This one's by Chikuhodo. It's the GSN-14 spoolie. I also like this one. It's just more dense and the fibers are different. But yeah, there's just some staple things that I can't do my makeup without, and a good spoolie is one of those. Yeah. So I'm just doing a quick eyebrow here. And then I'm gonna keep it pretty lightweight today with the makeup just because it's hot, and when it's this hot, you know, I don't love piling a bunch of makeup on. But let's see. We'll do a little bit of this. This is the Chantecaille Tinted Moisturizer. I've been loving this. It's nice and lightweight. It has an SPF of 15, but they did just reformulate this one. This is not the new formulation. I have not tried the new formulation. I hear it's good though. I've heard good things. I heard it's creamier, and that they did a good job with the new reformulation. I also have here for foundation a couple of brushes. I have this Bisotto brush that's beautiful. I also have this new Refer brush. Sometimes I use this one for foundation as well. It's the Ihoto brush, and you can get these on my through my affiliate link that you can go to on Fude Bobo's website. The link is in my bio. Yes, the tinted moisturizer, my mom is on this live. She asked, it has an SPF of only 15. So it's not the highest level of SPF in it. If you're looking for something with higher SPF, it's that Sisley one that has that SPF of 30, which I would recommend, but it's a pretty penny. So, I don't know if that's something that is worth it to you, but part of the reason I'm really impressed with that Sisley one is because it has an SPF of 30. But regardless, I don't rely on my makeup to provide me with SPF alone. If it has SPF, it's just an added bonus, and we love that. But we always, yeah, J to my 06 on here. That's my mom. Everyone say hi to Julie. But yeah, it's always good to have more SPF, of course, but I just always am generous about my SPF prior to makeup. If I'm going to be out in the sun, of course. And then also another good product that has SPF, I'll just grab it real quick, is the Clé de Peau. These are the Clé de Peau concealers. These have a SPF of 27. So, hi Ihoto, thank you for joining my live. I'm showing off some of your brushes today. So this is a really good concealer with SPF in it. I've raved about it on my YouTube channel, which is also at the link in my bio if you're interested. But it's hard to find good makeup products with SPF, which is why I really enjoy this. And I'll just, since I have these out, I'll just go ahead and use them. But these, yeah, they have titanium dioxide in them, and they are made by Shiseido, which is a Japanese brand. So it does say here made in the US. I thought these were made in Japan, but some of Clé de Peau's products I do think are made in Japan, but I pretty much have like almost every shade in them just because I really like them. But these are really great as well. Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, so this is the shade Honey, which is a pretty good match to my skin tone, as you can see. And then I also have a couple of lighter ones that I like using to brighten. So I have Ivory, which is number 1, Ochre, number 2, which is a good, it has a very nice neutral undertone. That's why I like this Ochre shade. You see how it's not too yellow? And then Beige is number 3, which has a very slight hint of pink. So it's good for color correcting underneath the eyes if you have any darkness or hyperpigmentation like me. And then Ivory is good to just like brighten up in certain areas that you might want to brighten up. It's quite a bit lighter than my skin tone. So I just put it on the high points where I like to brighten. But I'm going to spray a little bit of this onto Kai. It's their Rose de Mai Pure Rose Water Setting Spray. And I mentioned this once before on my lives. I probably would not repurchase this just because it's a really bougie buy. And I wouldn't really tell anybody that they need to pay this much for a setting spray. But some girl was raving about how nice it was because it's limited edition. And they basically just take the roses that they grow in the south of France in the month of May specifically to make that that setting spray. So that's why it's limited edition. But yeah, so I was going to be talking about which brushes I was going to use today. Yeah, for foundation, we have this lovely one. So since I already have this one out, I'm just going to be using this one. This one's such a beautiful brush by Bisotto. Bisotto is going to be, has announced that it will be raising their prices coming up on October 1st. So if you're interested in, and same with Koyudo. Ihodo and Chikuhodo recently raised their prices. Hakuhodo raised their prices last year. So it's becoming a trend in the Japanese handmade brush world, it seems, with the cost of inflation and all of that. But another new little concealer brush, Ihodo, by Ihodo, who is on this live, is this one that I just picked up from Fude Bobo. Again, you can get this one at the link in my bio on Fude Bobo's website. I do believe they still have this one in stock. This one's lovely because it's Kolinsky, and Kolinsky is amazing for all types of formulas, especially when it comes to liquids and creams. It's very resilient. And look at this bundling. This is hand bundled. It's perfectly bundled to this in this tapered way. The bristles, as you can see, go from shorter to longer, and they come to a point here, which is perfect to get right into that under eye area there. And it's really easy to take this brush up along the edges of the eyebrows, on the eyelid, to spread out any concealer. You could even use this to set your concealer underneath your eyes. These bristles are super soft, not pokey at all. And it just feels so lovely and exquisite. Hello, thank you for joining my live. I'm just getting ready real quick before going to church here in a bit. It's 4:12, so maybe somebody can help me keep the time to make sure I'm not late. But I'm just showcasing some beautiful brushes that I recently picked up. And those will be including the Sonia G Trio. Hi Maria, thanks for joining my live. I'm just getting ready real quick for church, showcasing some new things that I picked up, including makeup brushes and products. I'm going in with this shade Custard here. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This is another staple in my collection. Like, I don't know that I can recommend a comparable product. This is just like always on my vanity. I have this one and the one in the shade Ginger, always handy. The shade Ginger is slightly deeper with a more orange tint, and the shade Custard is a little bit lighter. If you're a millennial and you remember the shades Custard and Ginger, leave me a comment, because I feel like if you grew up on like the early days on YouTube, you know, all the it girls at the time were using Ginger and Custard. Like, it didn't even matter what your shade was. You would just know that Ginger and Custard were good. Thank you for joining my live. But yeah, so, but honestly, they still are a really good match for me. So, I like this formula because it is a soft matte. It's good for like to use underneath eyeshadow on your eyelids. If you do want to go back in with shadow on your eyelids, it's good to use as just like a concealer for blemishes, because it's a nice soft matte concealer. Even if you're a dude, okay, if we have any men here, this is a good concealer as well that I would recommend. And I've given one of these to my brother. I would recommend it if you know, my dad or my brothers were asking me like for a good concealer to use on blemishes, because if you get your right tone, it really just kind of blends in with your skin because of that matte finish. It's not gonna dry down with any type of a shine or glowiness to it. So love the NARS Soft Matte Radiant Creamy Concealer. And then for setting powder, why don't we use the Givenchy one, because that's been a topic of discussion here in the Fude community since this one was recently reformulated. So if your local Sephora still carries this OG powder, I recommend you pick one up and probably even stock up on it, because the reformulation is not good from what I've been hearing. They added like a shine to it, and I don't like my powders to be shiny, not my setting powders, because they tend to emphasize hyperpigmentation, or not hyper, like any type of shine will emphasize imperfections such as textured skin and stuff like that, which I do have. My favorite Fude brush for liquid and cream foundation. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you for leaving me the comment. So I was just going in with this one, which is a Bisotto and Fude Bobo collaboration. This is Kolinsky hair, which is great for liquids and creams. It might cost you an arm and a leg because it is a pretty price tag. It is hand bundled. This ferrule right here is 24 karat gold plated, or it might actually just be like a solid 24 karat gold. This is an African rosewood handle. Do you see how just like lovely and glossy and just this exposed wood like this? I'm a sucker for that, even though it does have that gloss, but this is, the name on there will not come off. It's like engraved in such a nice way. Highly recommend this one. Again, you can find it in on the Fude Bobo website via the affiliate link in my bio. But another good alternative, if you don't want to spend this much on this, I mean, this brush is really amazing. Like, honestly, like another reason why I like Kolinsky is because like I can, like you just saw, I used it with my tinted moisturizer just now. I can just wipe this off. Yeah, it is such a treat to use. Like, you get the full handmade makeup brush experience with this brush. And once they're gone, they're gone. These were all hand bundled by Mr. Bisotto himself, who is now in his 80s. So that's another really special thing about this brush in particular. You really do get what you pay for, though, in my opinion. It's kind of a collector's item too, I will say. So if you're not really like into collecting and you're just looking for a more practical one, there's also tons of other options. So don't feel like the need to have this, but it is a gorgeous, just such a beautiful brush that I think I'll like always appreciate in my collection. But what's lovely about Kolinsky in general, whether it's this brush or any other Kolinsky brush like this one that I was just showing off, that's amazing too. You can also get it on that Fude Bobo website right now. Ihodo, who is the maker of this brush, is, I believe, still watching this live, which is such an honor. But this is also hand bundled. The Kolinsky brushes it's pretty much the same type of bristle as this one. You get a lot less hairs, obviously, but technically you can use this to kind of lay down your foundation. It's not going to really go in and buff your foundation in as nicely as this one. But another really good one for foundation that I recommend is this one. It recently came back in stock, so you might still be able to grab it. This is a mixture of Psycho goat hair and fox, and both of those types of natural hair bristles are good to use with creams, powders, liquids, all alike. And it has this adorable little owl on this handle that I just love. So this one I highly recommend, and you will not be paying as much for this brush as you will pay for this one. So this is another great one because you can really use it for foundation. You can use it to pack on powder. This one is also, like what I was saying about these, is that these types of bristles are good to just like wipe off on your brush here and then move on to the next step. So I really appreciate that. A multitasking brush is always something I look for and appreciate when I'm doing my makeup in a rush, which is basically whenever I'm doing my makeup. So I'm taking this Givenchy Prism Libre powder that I was just talking about, how upsetting it is that they just reformulated it and that it's glowy, that the new reformulation is glowy. If you saw in my Instagram stories that I posted, I think it was like yesterday, still mourning over that I don't think I'll be able to get this formula again. So I'm just going to be cherishing every last bit of these powders. I do luckily have them in a couple of shades, but these are very lovely powders by Givenchy, and it's very sad that they decided to make them glowy in their new reformulation. But as you can see, they have like 4 different colors, and there's different shades. This one in particular is shade number 2, Satin Blanc. So they're meant to like help color correct. Hard to find. Kolinsky, yeah, they are hard to find. Can you recommend anywhere else to find? Okay, so Fude Bobo is one of my favorite retailers, and she does carry Kolinsky brushes, but they do go in and out of stock. But another really good retailer to buy handmade Japanese brushes is CD Japan. That one's also great. You can also find them on Fude Beauty, but Fude Beauty has you have to spend like $300 or something to get free shipping, which I don't like about Fude Beauty. So that's why I would recommend CD Japan. And also with CD Japan, well, Fude Beauty too, but you get points. So if you have a profile made, you can get it on their point system, which is also really nice. Excuse me. Toshiya Fude Japan, you can also get Fude, which means Japanese handmade makeup brush, from him. But yeah, you'll have to pay shipping and stuff like that too. So this is another one that I actually still saw in stock on Fude Bobo's website that I will highly recommend. It's not Kolinsky, it's Goat. And this is a lovely one because I really like it for so many things. Like, as you can see, I'm using it with setting powder to set my concealer underneath the eyes. But I also really like using this one for highlight. Right now, I'm in the process of editing my latest YouTube video that I just filmed. And I'm showing a lot of these brushes in action and showcasing how I use them. So stay tuned for that if you're interested, because I do get a lot of requests showing which brushes. I did get a request on here the other day showing which brushes would be good to use with like what makeup steps. So and then, so now that we have powdered, I brought out this Chanel face palette, and that's what I thought we could use today to showcase the new Sonia G brushes that just came out. These are in stock still. You can get them on Beautylish. But yeah, I figured that this is also the perfect size brush to fit into this. So this is first impressions. I haven't used these brushes yet, but they look beautiful. These are persimmon dyed bristles. So they literally take... Hi, Shara Star. Thank you for joining the live. I'm showcasing the new Sonia G Trio. But these are dyed with persimmon dye, so it's all natural and it doesn't compromise the integrity of the bristles when they dye them this way. It's a very traditional Japanese way of dyeing brushes. And it has just like a beautiful exposed wood handle. It feels nice and weighty in the hand. And of course, you could see right there, it's made in Japan. This is the TF1, which stands for Traditions Face 1. So I'm just going ahead and dipping it into this Chanel powder here. Feel free to ask any questions. I'm just trying to do this quickly since I only have a little bit of time left until I have to go. Thank you so much, Sharstar99. I appreciate you. That was very sweet. So yeah, so far I just have the Chantecaille tinted moisturizer and a little bit of a couple of different shades in these Clé de Peau stick concealers, because I was talking about makeup products that I liked with a little bit of SPF in them as a bonus. So yeah. Yeah, these bristles feel super nice and soft on the skin. Oh my gosh, they're lovely. They truly are a joy to use. If you have any of Sonia G's previous collections, or this one, for instance, from Bisiotto, this is also another good one that you can find on the Fude Bobo website, which has a mix. I think it's fox, goat, and squirrel hair in one. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hey, Aldo, thanks for joining my live. I'm doing a really quick get ready with me. But This one, if you already have this little guy here, it's kind of similar to this new Sonia G one. This is kind of the difference. I really do appreciate this kind of fan shape. It is great for just like multitasking and getting the job done quickly, as you can see, just like so. And yeah, it's good to kind of get into these little crevices here. You can use this really for any type of powder. You don't really want to use these persimmon dyed bristles with creams or liquids because they're just too delicate. But for any type of like powder step that you want to do, these are really good. The Bisotto Silver Fox mixed with dyed Psychoho. Silver Fox. Is that this one? Or are you talking about this one? No, this one's not Bisotto. This one's Aihodo. This one's Bisotto. The Bisotto is, oh, you're correcting me. Thank you, Sharastar. Okay. It's Silver Fox mixed with dyed Psychoho. Gotcha. Okay. I forgot what the mix was on this one, just because I have so many makeup brushes that I tend to forget, and I got this one a while back. So thank you for letting us know, Sharastar99. She has a great Instagram profile where she showcases a lot of really beautiful handmade makeup brushes, so highly recommend you follow Sharastar, my girl, if you don't already follow her. So then another one that I did recently pick up that was all Fox from Fude Bubbles website that I haven't played around with since these are all just washed, by the way, too. So once you first get your makeup brushes, if they are natural hair bristles, you're just going to want to give them a nice wash before using them, because they do have this beautiful way of blooming that just isn't the same if you don't wash them prior to use. Unlike synthetic fibers, like for instance, I did just pick up the new Refer brushes. These are all synthetic. So you don't necessarily need to wash these before using them if you don't want to. But for natural hair bristles, it's always a good idea to do so. So let's go in and do a little bit of highlighter and some blush, shall we? So I have this Chantecaille blush here. This one, great. Thank you so much. I know a lot of, okay, thank you. I know Sonia G should send me PR. Thank you for tagging her. I hope that one day she will start to send me PR. As of now, I purchase all of these with my own money, so I do really appreciate that. Sonia G is really the reason that I got into handmade Japanese makeup brushes in the first place, because I fell in love with her mini cheek, and that I got on Beautylish, if you're wondering, where you could pick up all Sonia G brushes. But yeah, I just kind of gone like really into the handmade nature of the brushes and just how beautiful they apply. Do you see that? Oh my gosh, this brush is just wow. I'm really impressed. This is first impressions right here. The first time I'm using these, they are better than expected. They're so soft. I don't have very sensitive skin, mind you. I do use tretinoin, which is retinol, almost pretty much like every other day. So other than like some dryness that I can have from the retinol, I don't really have sensitive skin, but I did when I was on Accutane for like 2.5 years. Probably like a year ago, I got off of it, but not anymore. So, oh my gosh, yeah, these brushes, wow, they are a joy to use. I recommend picking these up if you haven't done so already. This one is the TF2, Tradition Space 2. Again, dyed with lovely persimmon dye. And these are goat hair bristles, Psychoho goat hair. But yeah. Yeah, that Bisotto Silver Fox and dyed Psychoho is really a treat to use too. It's definitely denser than this Sonia G one. So just comparing them, the bristles are shorter and they're not as airy as the Sonia G one. It's more compact, as you can see. So they're just different. It's hard to say like which one's better than the other. I don't really like have, you know, favorites just because I'm just obsessed with all different types of brushes from all different ranges. Like I even have my handy dandy Makeup by Mario one here. I love this little guy from Patrick Ta. I have this fully synthetic one from Sigma that I recently picked up at the Nordstrom anniversary sale. And then I also have, you know, some Chinese handmade makeup brushes that I like to use too, but there really is nothing like the handmade Japanese makeup brushes. They just are on another level. This one's also a recent purchase that I picked up from Fude Bobo as well. And Koyudo, this is one of the brands that's going up in price that have announced the price increase coming up on October 1st. So get your Koyudo and your Koyudo and Bisiotto brushes before the price increase if you can. Also, the conversion rate right now from Japanese yen to USD is pretty much like at a historic low, which is great for us here in the United States. What do you use the Bisiotto for? Oh, this Bisiotto one. I love to use it for pretty much like all the same things that you can use this one for. As I was saying, like if you are a fan of powder foundation, lovely for powder foundation. It's good to use this more compact type of dense brush for formulas that are harder to pick up in the pan. So for instance, this powder here from Chantecaille in this pan is definitely harder to pick up on a brush than like this one. And you can kind of get a feel of how compact the powder is in a pan when you just kind of like stick your finger in it and see how much payoff comes off on your finger. It's quite telling. Because a lot of these ones are like baked formulas. So when you have a baked gelée formula, kind of like these Chantecaille ones, these are a little bit harder to pick up on your brush. So that's where I would go in to answer your question and use like this Bisiotto one. This would be really nice paired together here, which I'm pairing for the first time, but like to use as... This is more of like a finishing powder, which kind of just perfects the skin at the end rather than adding like much coverage or color on your skin. But this is a great use for this brush to use with a finishing powder or a setting powder like this Givenchy one that I was just using to set. If you watch any of my YouTube videos, you might see that I like love to pour my setting powder into my little IKEA bowl here. So this is great to kind of like get a nice even amount of powder on your bristles like this, and then you can just kind of drag it on your skin, or whether you're going in circular motions like buffing it in, or whether you just kind of want to sweep it on, you can really use it for any powder step too. Let's see, powder contour. This is like my Natasha Denona like go-to powder contour shade and formula. So this one you could even use for powder contour. I would say like the Sonia G one is a little bit big to use for powder contour, but like if I'm in a rush and I want to take like a bigger brush like this for powder contour, I would just go and like pinch it to get it a little bit more narrow and kind of just drag it along right here if I'm feeling like I want to kind of hide that double chin more on some days, like today, where last night I had Jersey Mike's, and I've been eating like pretty clean lately. So that to me, even though Jersey Mike's is like pretty good quality, was like a cheat meal. So I can immediately see it if I cheat on my diet, like the next day, like I'm feeling puffy right here. So that's where I would take like a powder contour or cream contour and just kind of hide that jowling. It's also been a while since I got Botox, and the last time I got Botox, I experimented right here on my jawline, and I really do think that it helped hide this like jowling that as we get older we start to tend to kind of see like a little bit of sagging right here. So that's what I like to use contour for. Just right there. And then like even just like a tiny bit underneath the cheekbone, like so. That's another good use for this powder. But you can also use it for just like all over bronzer, like kind of like how I was using this Sonia G one. This would also be good for a powder bronzer too. If you just wanted more of an impact, or if the formula, like this one is in the shade Light Coral. So it's a little light for me. So that's why I'm not really afraid to go in with this brush that's more dense. But if I were to be using more of a pigmented bronzer, I might be more careful. You always cheat on your diet, Big Sweet Tooth. Thank you. Thank you for making me not feel alone in that. Yeah, I know. I could be better with my diet too, but I'm working on it. I have a major sweet tooth as well. And what's ironic about that is that my dad is a dentist. And we almost, like, me and my brother say that it's like, kind of like karma, like that he just like was always so strict about like us not eating sweets. Like that was like the first thing he would take away from us when we would get in trouble and stuff. And now me and my brothers all have big sweet tooth, major sweet teeth. So, okay, I also wanted to showcase a couple of other new brushes if I had the time, that I picked up from Fude Bobo. She just came out with these ones that you might still be able to pick up on her website if they haven't sold out already. This one was a really special. My dad's listening and laughing. How true is that though? My brothers all have major sweet teeth. They love candy too. I have 5 brothers if y'all didn't know. So these are really nice and special because look at that nice point that you have there. Like it's hard. These are very unique shapes. This is white. I think it's, I don't know, Shara Star. I don't know if you are more familiar with this one. I think it's White Canadian Squirrel, if I'm not mistaken, from Tansedo. But I was like really impressed with the softness of this one. This one's a beautiful one and done. These supposedly are very limited bristle types that she is carrying right now on her website. But look at how that blend, did you see how fast and easy that blended out this Chanel bronzer? I'm showing you like real time. I just washed this brush, so it's my first time using it like in this washed state. But look at how it just, oh my goodness. Do you see just how easily? So any type of like eyeshadow that you have that you want to use, let me see if I can find an eyeshadow to use to show you. I have this YSL palette here that I haven't used enough, but here it is in all its beautiful glory. She's beautiful, isn't she? Gorgeous. So let's show this brush off real quick. I'm just going to go in and use like a couple of these neutral shades here and slap them on in the crease real quick. Oh my gosh. But did you see, like, you literally like don't have to work. Like, that's what I love about these really soft, high quality, handmade brushes. They do the work for you. I always get on here and think I'm not going to have time to finish my makeup, but then I start to use these brushes and my makeup goes by really quickly. So another step that is like a go-to step for me is to take this Hakuhodo brush. This is the F8132N. And thank you, Shara Star. You're so sweet. You're the best. I love to just take this contour powder, or you can just do like a lip liner for this step as well. But I want to get lip filler in my lips. I know some of you have told me I don't need it, so I'm not fishing for compliments here, but I might get just like a tad, maybe like half a syringe in my lip area, because I recently had braces. My dad did my braces, and when my braces came off, I do feel like it just, it kind of like deflated my lips a little bit. That was like the one and only good thing about braces, is that it kind of like filled out my lips a little bit more than they are now. So I just kind of feel void of that ever so slightly more like plumpiness to them. But until I get lip filler, and I'll probably still be doing this, honestly. I like doing this little trick where you can just put like, you see the shade is not too different than my actual skin tone. I'm not going in with like a really intense brown. But I also did pick up a couple of these lip liners recently that we can showcase here. I got 2 from Urban Decay. I couldn't tell online what the difference was between these 2 shades, so I picked them up both because they were on sale on Sephora. I think I got these for like half off. But I had 1993, and I could have sworn that this shade was discontinued, but I saw it on there again. So then there's Liar. So 1993 and Liar, they're similar, but they are different. And then this Patrick Ta One Size lip liner is in the shade Rent Dew, and it's a nice chocolate brown. And then I have this Chantecaille lip liner in the shade Natural. I like using a more like brownie shade, kind of like this deeper one by One Size, to just help give that contour. So you could skip that powder step if you don't have that any like contour powders handy, and just use like a brown lip liner. And this is kind of how I fake it till I make it, in a way, to make my lips look bigger. I know I don't already have like the smallest lips in the world, thankfully. Shout out to my mom who's on here for my lips, because my lips are similar to hers. But I just overline the Cupid's bow. And then ever so slightly right underneath the bottom of my lip, just to give it like a little bit more of a shadow. The new Dior lip liners are great. I have the best brown one for lip contour. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't know Dior came out with new nude lip liners. But I'll have to check them out. I do think I have one of the Dior lip liners. I didn't know it was new though. I did pick it up recently from the Sephora sale. I should have it here. This is where I have my lip liners, but I have so many lip liners. I need to go through them, but I'll show you what I'm kind of working with here. It's in here somewhere, that Dior one. But there's so many good lip liners nowadays on the market. Let me see. I don't have it here handy with me. It might even be somewhere else right now, but thanks for letting me know. I'll have to check it out. I also recently tried the Clé de Peau lip liners, which I have here. I picked up one of like the red ones and then a nude shade. So I've been liking these as well. Oh, it's right here in front of my face. The Suku lip liners. Ooh, I love Suku. So I bet you that those are good. Hi, thank you for joining the live. I'm just doing a quick get ready with me. This is the Dior lip liner that I have in this nude shade. I do have like the shade 999 as well. Okay, okay, they needed nude colors in that line, so I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you for letting me know. The one I have is in the shade 300. It's the shade Nude Style. I hope I didn't miss any comments. Sending your video link to Sonia. Thank you, Shara. Sorry, I really appreciate that. I do hope that one day she does start to send me PR. Yeah, I'm impressed with these Dior lip liners, so I'm very happy that they extended their shade range. I love Dior makeup in general. Honestly, like I love their concealer. This was another one that was recently reformulated that we were all nervous about. I have one in the old formulation and one in the new one right here. I have a few others that I picked up in the old formulation when they announced that they were going to be reformulated, because I didn't know if it was going to be a good reformulation or not. But yeah, like the Givenchy powder that we're seeing, that was a terrible reformulation, and I'm very bummed about that still. But I've also been dipping into this Westman Atelier lip product lately. So let's see what we can use. I'll use this Bisotto. Oh, this is another Bisotto brush that I recommend. Bisotto has a couple of different lip brushes, but like this is like a must in like any given day that I'm doing makeup, is to use a lip brush. Because I do really think that it helps give you a nicer application and just helps you be more precise. Does anybody have this? I got it in this like gift set on Nordstrom with like a couple of other, it came with like one of the cream blushes, this Baby Cheeks by Westman Atelier. It's in the shade Petal. And then it came with, what else did it come with? It came with, I'm forgetting now what the third item was that it came with. I want to say it was, oh, I think it was one of their, it's like the highlighting like balm stick formulas that they have. I don't know where mine is right now, but I didn't know if I was gonna like it, but it's cute. It's like a cute your lips but better type of look. Nice and moisturizing. But yeah, another little brush that I rave about all the time that I really like can't do my makeup without is this KQ12S brush that you could also find on the Fude Bobo website. And it's Kolinsky as well. You were asking about the Kolinsky brushes. This one is like an absolute holy grail. I'm not one to get like backups and doubles of brushes just because I already have so many. But this one is my third one because I never want to be without this one. And unlike other websites that sell this brush, I love how Bobo has the name of it engraved right here because I can never remember the names of all of these brushes. So yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with the look. It's a pretty simple, natural look today. I think the only thing I didn't do that I normally do is a little bit of a nose contour. Maybe I'll take this Koyuro Yoshiki brush, which I did also pick up on Fude Bobo's website. This is red squirrel hair. And I'm just going to use it to contour my nose a little bit. Oh, I wanted to use that other the third Sonia G brush that I haven't used. I'll use that real quick for highlight, and then that'll be the last step. I just like ever so slightly do a little bit of a nose contour just because I feel like if I don't have any dimension right here in this area, it's not really that I want to change the shape of my nose, but I just want to give it a little bit more contrast just because we have contrast everywhere else. But let's take a highlighter. I'm going to take, it's always hard for me to decide which highlighter I want to use because I just have so many that I'm in love with. I love Hourglass highlighters. I love Chantecaille highlighters. I love Tom Ford highlighters. And I love Clé de Peau highlighters. And I also love the Dior highlighters. I think those are all my top favorite. But let's use this Clé de Peau one today, shall we? This one's in the shade 2 Golden Galaxy. And I want to go ahead and use this Sonia G TF3. And then I'm going to have to run because mass is going to be starting soon. So I'm just going to be dipping this lovely brush into these bristles to show you how beautiful. Oh, do you see that highlighter? And the way that the bristles just ever so elegantly dance on the skin, just like, it's so soft, y'all. It's so soft. Do you see how it looks kind of like a glazed donut in a way, but like in a very elegant way? Have you tried the new Dior contour stick? No, but I would love to try the new Dior contour stick and foundation stick. Thank you for asking. They are on my wish list, and I'm hoping to pick them up during the next Sephora sale, hoping that they are both on sale during the next Sephora sale. I know that one of them is still not on there. I think they have the foundation stick, but not the contour stick, if I'm not mistaken, the last time that I checked the Sephora website. But I don't know. Here in the US, sometimes we're slower to get things in stock than in other parts of the world. So I'm hoping that by the next Sephora sale that they have in November, I can get those off for I can get those for 20% off, because I have to stop myself when it comes to new makeup to not just pick up every single release every time, because otherwise that is not going to be good for my wallet. They're so, oh, thank you for telling me that they're good. I know all the reviews that I've been seeing, like a lot of reviews on them, and everybody's saying that they're really good and very impressive. So cannot wait to get my hands on those. Let's just use the Sonia G little koi guy here. I like to use any little dome brush like this. I already take the highlighter that I'm using already on my face, and I love to just pop a little bit into this inner corner, since we tend to have some darkness in our inner corner, and this just kind of brightens that area up, as you can see. Sometimes I just pop a little bit on the tip of my nose, a little bit on my chin. I love taking like a flatter brush like this. This one's a Kolinsky brush by Hakuhoro. This is the 241. And just ever so slightly tap it onto the brow bones. Just for that brow bone highlight. That kind of gives a lift to the face. Sometimes I just also take it like down the nose just a little bit. And that's it, y'all. That is it. That's the look. I hope you enjoyed. I could be here all day talking to you, playing with makeup, playing with brushes. But I have to run or I'm going to be late. So thank you so much for joining, everybody. And stay tuned for the next live. Love you.